A similar question as to why rain, as opposed to irrigation from a river, should be considered the superior alternative when the river seems much more convenient and less fraught with risk. The same question was asked by a great Hasidic sage, Simcha bar Pshischa, when Adam and Eve and the snake are being punished for their violation regarding the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The punishment of the snake is puzzling. He says, "You will eat for the dust of the earth." Asks Reb Simcha bar Pshischa, this would seem to be a great thing. There's always plenty of dust, no shortage. It's right there next to your mouth. No effort is involved. And he explains why this was a punishment or a sign of disfavor from God. And he gives the metaphor of a king. I may have said it in one of my previous lectures. It's very suitable and bears repeating. He had two sons, one son that he loved and one son that he didn't love. And the one son that he loved, he wanted to see very often. So he always gave him a very small purse, a very small allowance for his needs. And this would necessitate the son coming back for more, and hence giving his father the pleasure of his presence. The son that he did not like, he gave a large amount of money. Take this, see you later, don't come back too soon. And he explains the same thing. The disfavor to the snake was, you'll always have a supply of food. You won't need to turn to the source of your soul. You won't need to turn to the Creator in prayer. You won't be needy, and therefore you won't realize your own vulnerability. And this lack of awareness of your own vulnerability will prevent you from turning to the Creator. And that is the reason that Israel, God tells the Jewish people, it's not like Egypt. There it's going to be rain. There we're going to communicate with each other. There's going to be a relationship between God and man. Not so in Egypt, where when one becomes accustomed to the constant supply, one forgets that too, the river was also created by God. But they forget that because it's not an ongoing dynamic. What happens when someone becomes accustomed to this way of living and becomes inured to divine intervention, becomes convinced, kind of drinks the Kool-Aid of the autonomy of existence, and inevitably he becomes more powerful in his own mind. And what happens is he becomes cold, becomes indifferent. He's selfish. This coldness and selfishness is symbolized by the ice of the hail. On the other hand, the person is capable of passion. When it comes to his own needs and desires, he can be passionate about them. So underneath the coldness and indifference to others is a heat and a passion in the selfish pursuit of his own desires, a self-love, which is inside, not visible, but it's actually that which is energizing his indifference and lack of love towards others. And this whole message is being delivered in one powerful natural act. Egypt, the land which doesn't have rain, and hence lacked the awareness of the relationship with the Creator, and replaced that awareness with an enthronement of the self to the absurd extent that Pharaoh says, I created myself. So all of a sudden now there's rain. Heaven is letting itself be known in a way that goes to the essence of the spiritual malady of the Egyptians. You see this? This is what you are, Pharaoh. You're cold on the outside. You're indifferent and even cruel in terms of the fate of others. Beneath this is a fire of selfishness which is powering that. And all this is because you're rainless. You deny and reject relationship between heaven and earth. And when all these factors converge, the idea of all of a sudden heaven knocking on the door, not us knocking on heaven's door, but heaven knocking on our door in an unexpected way, and at the same time eloquently unmasking the nature of the Egyptian spiritual illness. So this hit Pharaoh, and all of a sudden he realized he was unmasked, and he said, God is righteous, and my people and I myself, we are the sinners. It was not long lasting, but the message got through. And so the seemingly miraculous but perhaps unremarkable combination of fire and ice actually contains a profound symbolism. Good Shabbos.